Yeah, it's hard, but we're gonna find out and find a way to get it back. So I just take my moment, and whatever they do is they got in control. I know, no decision on that, and then I just feel positive and ready for when they give me the opportunity. It was my hips earlier this season, but now I feel fantastic. I feel amazing on my body, and it just lose my confidence at the play. I just lose my timing, and that's a big betterment. So I working for them. They had the decision, and whatever they make, I had to do it.
Trade rumors come with the territory this time of year. Deadline 9 days away. Jon Heyman, ready or not, Marcelo Ozuna just basically saying my future is not in my hands. That's his sentiment. What's been the conversation, good morning, by the way, about the Braves overall and Marcelo Ozuna independently?
Well, the Braves need to be sellers at this point. They're 11 games under. They're something like 10 out of the wild card. They're clearly not a buyer at this point. Too many injuries with Sale and Schwellenbach, and obviously underperformance all around. Marcelo Ozuna, I think, is being a little bit generous there. It is a little bit up to him because he does have 10-5 veto rights over trades, and I do believe that he would accept a trade at this point as his role has been diminished. Now, he is hitting 175 since June, but this is a guy who's been a perennial excellent RBI producer, was their best hitter last year, so I do think they still will be able to get something for him. I don't think these other big stars are going to be on the move for the Braves. I don't think it's very likely that they trade or even listen intently on Murphy or Albies or other guys who have been mentioned in the media. Certainly Riley's not going anywhere, Sale's not going anywhere, and I think it's basically going to be Ozuna and some relievers, Raisel Iglesias, Pierce Johnson, Aaron Bummer, those kind of guys. I don't want to say that this sale is a bummer, but it certainly is not going to be a huge sale, but they do look like they are trending to the sell.
I did like that Marcel said, my hip feels great, I'm healthy, and of course that's at the top of the list. That's number one. We haven't talked much, Jon, about the Padres, and that's surprising considering A.J. Preller's a gamer, right, when it comes to deals. I remember in the beginning of the year we were talking about Cease and King. No, sir, not the case. They're buying, but who? What are the names? Give me some.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're absolutely looking to buy. They're an aggressive team. They're playing well. Obviously, they've had some injuries, too, but they've played through them. They've done a nice job piecing together that rotation. One interesting thing about the Padres, 3 all-star relievers, Morhone, Adam, and Suarez, yet they are looking for bullpen help, and they should be able to find it on this market. There are a lot of very good relievers out there. That is one of their priorities, believe it or not. I think they'll look at starting pitching. I think they'll look at catcher, though there aren't a ton of great catchers out there. And right now, Maldonado's doing a very nice job with that pitching staff. They are looking for a bat, so I think they are going to look at left field. Certainly, they've been on Jarren Duran at least since May, probably for more than a year. They love the guy, but at this point, I would say that's probably a long shot. We know Boston has a glut in the outfield, but I think they probably hold a Duran. If he is traded, it'll be a surprise if it's anybody but the Padres.
Wow. You know, the reason I keep asking you day after day about starting pitching is because I feel like, Jon, around this time we have identified 5 to 10 big-time starters names who could legitimately move. You're laughing because is it just me, or does that feel different this year?
I think it feels a little bit different because I don't think the real big-time guys like Sale, DeGrom, Evaldi, Peralta, I doubt they're going anywhere. I really do. And then even that maybe next tier, but certainly big stars, I think they're going to listen on Joe Ryan. The Twins now are open to seriously listen, at least on their rental players, and they are willing to listen. They're one of the teams that was willing to listen on anything. So I would say Joe Ryan could be one of the more interesting guys out there. Certainly Mackenzie Gore, they're willing to listen, but I think that's a major long shot at this point, and I know that affects you, Lauren. But there are a ton of very good starters, but not big-time stars. I think Adrian Hauser's having a good year. Kelly Gallen potentially from the Diamondbacks. Marquez is a guy. The Orioles have 3 guys. Charlie Morton certainly is a guy. The team's do like. I mean, there is a long list, probably 15 to 20 guys who could move. I wouldn't say that any of them are 1 or 2 starters, unless, of course, Gore or Ryan actually do move. And I'm going to say at this point, I think it's long shots, but those teams are listening.
Okay, I keep thinking if Joe Ryan walks in the door, how pumped up and fired up the boys would be to see him with his bag come the trade deadline. You ready for the question I've asked you for the last... How long has Luis Robert been in the league?
I know.
6 years?
Yeah.
Will he move? Give me a % that he's moved. 2025 deadline.
I think it's like we're up to 80% at this point.
Okay.
Teams are interested. The worm has turned. I mean, he's over 200 at 206 now. He is hitting 364 in July. He does hit lefties. He's still a good defender. I think the team that we mentioned earlier, the Padres, could be a potential fit because they clearly have been looking at left field. They're not moving Jackson Merrill out of center field. Robert is a center fielder. That would plug a hole that they do have. Obviously, Sheets has done great in terms of his hitting, but I think they think of him as a little bit more of a DH if they can do it. So the Padres are the latest team I've heard with Robert potentially, but 8 teams have checked in on Robert Jr., and I think they're going to have to pay it down a little bit. But teams know that they're not going to pick up that $20 million option for next year. No matter how hot he gets, I don't believe they're going to pick up that $20 million option. So, I mean, they're doing well now. They've improved. They've done a nice job. But I think it's time that Luis Robert Jr. does get traded before we talk about it anymore.
Fans imagining that outfield in San Diego with starry eyes, right? Sleep now, Jon Heyman. Almost time, and we can't hardly wait. Thanks for the time on the Inside Corner. Robert, take it away.